doctor, give me the news. I've got a bad case of loving you. No pill's gonna cure my head. I've got a bad case of loving you.
Good morning. This is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 15. I am back. This is the morning of April 25th, 2020. I have returned for another 1 week stretch of 12-hour shifts, and I just completed my first. So while I've been gone for the past 8 or 9 days, apparently we've done a good bit of clearing out of coronavirus patients. So far, let me check for you, just so that I don't speak out of line. We actually have gotten more admissions of coronavirus patients than we previously have had. My group's census or list of patients is actually very large now, so much so that we're considering no longer having dedicated coronavirus teams in the hospital because we just have so many coronavirus patients. But otherwise, overnight, my shift was very slow. I admitted one coronavirus patient that was coronavirus positive, had another that we suspected, but thanks to the rapid testing that my hospital finally has working again, that patient tested negative and is being treated for a run-of-the-mill pneumonia. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. My facility has been accepting transfers from a local correctional facility, and we unfortunately were holding on to those patients for a long period of time because of the policies the government has with those patients being able to be returned to their correctional facility after being diagnosed with coronavirus. But the requirements have changed, and we no longer have to hold on to these patients for a minimum of 12 to 15 days. And so they are able to be returned to their facility based on new guidelines. So that has helped tremendously. My facility has also now kind of instituted a new unit that is just these patients, these correctional facility patients that are coronavirus patients. And so that way they have multiple guards. The guards are all in communication with each other. The patients are all locked down. And it's just generally better management of care from a medical standpoint, and it's safer for everyone in the hospital. Other than that, I don't have much to report. Like I said, I'm just extremely happy that our rapid test is working. But we still are running short on tests in the state. Unfortunately, tests take a long time for other facilities to get done, and we still aren't sure about how good our new tests are in terms of the rate of false negatives that they're producing. It's a give and take, but I can definitely tell you that we are not testing enough here in Southern California. But so far, we're keeping very busy with the coronavirus patients. Our emergency departments are still very light and slow as patients are afraid to come to the hospital for anything other than coronavirus. But we're very, very full up in terms of our patient loads in regards to our coronavirus patients. So that's going to do it for me. Please make sure that you don't use any kind of disinfectant cleaning products on yourself. They are made for non-living surfaces. Please do not attempt to give yourself ultraviolet light enemas. They do not work and will actually end up causing cancer. And I don't know what else to really tell you right now without getting overly heated and divisive. So I'm going to back down. Oh, while I was gone, the VA did come out with a report, a study that looked at using hydroxychloroquine on over 250 or 300 patients, and found that the use of this drug is more dangerous than it is helpful. Patients who were not put on it had an 11%, I won't say an 11% death rate, an 11% rate of getting worse, while patients who were on the medication had an over 20% chance of their symptoms and their infection getting worse. So it looks like that first study from France was a load of BS, and it looks like whatever China was doing probably wasn't right or real. So far all the studies are saying what I've been saying for over 2 months, that this isn't working. So hopefully the Ebola drug, remdesivir, is going to do a lot better. So far its trials look a bit better, but the jury's still out on that one. Nonetheless, stay safe, stay distant, and hopefully we'll get through this. Atlanta just opened up its doors yesterday, so that certain businesses could now operate, including tattoo parlors, barber shops, stylists, and things along those lines. So we'll see how their numbers look in about 2.5 to 3 weeks in terms of infection and death rate, because that's when you'll start seeing the effect of what started yesterday. So nonetheless, I'm out. Have a good rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Like I said, stay safe. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 16. It is the morning of April 26th. My shift has just about ended once again. It was a very quiet night. Had one positive coronavirus patient that I admitted, and my partner admitted a single positive patient as well. Happy to report, as before, our coronavirus rapid testing through Abbott is working, and so we are able to get immediate, or relatively immediate answers as to the infection status of our suspected patients. And that's about it. Hospital's still pretty full up in terms of how many patients we have, but the emergency department is very quiet because people are still afraid to come in. Nothing new to report. The one coronavirus patient that I have admitted is quite ill, suffering from multiple issues due to his COVID-19 positive status. But beyond that, hopefully he will do well. But he is one of those moderately ill patients with this condition. So I will keep you updated tomorrow as to how he's been doing. Otherwise, that's it. This one was quick and simple. I can't think of anything to add. Oh, don't snort Ajax, because cleaners used for non-porous hard surfaces, like household cleaners, should never, ever be used on the human body. I have a number of those fun stories to tell you from people I knew back in college, but we'll leave it at that for now. But yeah, don't snort Ajax. don't let bleach touch your body, and do not inhale or shoot up Lysol. I would think that would be standard, but you never know nowadays. But I'm exhausted. It is the end of the shift. I'm going home. Have a nice day. Stay safe. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Later. Good morning, everyone. This is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 17. It is the morning of April 27th. My shift is over and ended on a busy note. It was a relatively quiet night, but for the first time in a very long time, no coronavirus patients. So that was nice. Multiple pneumonias, but luckily to the rapid test that we have in the hospital for the time being, we were able to figure out that none of these patients that I had a novel coronavirus infection. So, good news. Otherwise, unfortunately, my last patient of the day, which I got right at the end of my shift, is extremely ill. Can't go into detail, unfortunately, to protect the patient's identity and whatnot, but patient is extremely ill and does not look like they will survive their ordeal. But it does not appear to be secondary to a coronavirus infection, as he has also tested negative. But that's about it. Keep it short and sweet today. There's nothing to add. Apparently, I will say this, there has been some research, research is being done in New York to see if a very basic medication that we use all the time in the hospital for heartburn might actually help defeat the novel coronavirus. It's the weirdest thing ever. I couldn't even believe it when I read it, but it's in China. They realized that apparently poor patients, like peasants, that ended up having heartburn and were on this drug did better than the more wealthy patients who were on more expensive, different type heartburn medications. So it's uncertain if it's something to do with their diet or poverty level, or if it's because of this medication. So at least one hospital in New York City is actually checking to see if that happens to be the case. The only catch to that is that all of those patients in that trial are also on hydroxychloroquine. Even though it's been proven that it's causing more harm than good, they do not have a control group in this new study that is not on that medication. So we'll see. Other than that, nothing new on the horizon that I've read yet in terms of treatment or anything along those lines. But fingers crossed, we hear some news soon and go from there. Otherwise, I got nothing, and I know you don't want to hear my voice anymore. So that's the end of this one. Be safe, stay separated, stay isolated, and you'll hear from me tomorrow. Later. Good morning, everyone. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 18. It is the morning of April 28th, and my shift is over. This will be a very, very quick post because there's nothing to talk about. My hospital currently has approximately 60 active coronavirus patients within its walls, and 9 possible coronavirus patients that we're still waiting on some test results. Otherwise, my night was very light, had no coronavirus patients admitted to our service overnight, but again, still, ER is relatively empty. No one's coming in because they're afraid of catching the virus. But that's about it. Otherwise, everything remains unchanged. I'm exhausted from trying to educate people online about issues with the coronavirus without getting political, despite everyone's opinions on it being political when they're not medical professionals. So that becomes very, very difficult and very frustrating. You're just trying to help people, and people don't want to listen because they think they know better, and so it'll lead to major problems in the near future. But we'll just see how it turns out for now and go from there. So that's it for me. Hopefully I'll have something more interesting to post tomorrow. But otherwise, the usual. Stay safe. Stay isolated. Wear a bandana or a mask. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 19. It is the morning of April 29th. Shift is over. This will be probably the shortest session I have because I only had 2 patients overnight, and my partners also only had 2, but we had 0 coronavirus admissions overnight, which is really odd. And the emergency department was practically dead. No one's coming in, and no coronavirus patients in the meantime either. Our numbers are still at approximately 60 coronavirus patients in the hospital, and that's all I got for you. Hopefully we're trending down, but from what I can see in our numbers, we're more or less of a plateau in California, but my facility is fortunate that we have not yet been, we haven't gotten our asses kicked yet, pretty much. So, and for the time being, it looks like that won't happen, but we'll wait and see. Otherwise, we'll wait until August and September when flu season rolls around to see if this bad boy comes back to kick us in the butt. So that's all I've got. Sweet, short. I think we're done. Stay safe. Keep distanced. Keep separated. And talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 20. It is the morning of April 30th. Shift has ended, and I have admitted 2 more coronavirus patients overnight. And to add to it, yesterday's post I said I had no coronavirus admissions. I had one right after I finished recording my journal. Go figure. So I thought I had a no-hitter, but not so much the case. Nonetheless, both my coronavirus patients are relatively sick. One is definitely positive. The other one tested negative, but everything about them screams coronavirus, so we are retesting them with the standard test instead of the rapid test to see if we get a positive result. But other than that, so far they are stable. They look pretty good. And that's about it. We did lose one overnight. Unfortunately, they were in the intensive care unit and did not survive. There's only so much that can unfortunately be done, and that patient, there's nothing else we could do. So we did lose the battle there, but otherwise, that is it. No real news from the local areas. I know the hospital ship, the USNS Mercy, is, I think they've told us that they're done here and will probably not stay for much longer. They have less than 20 patients and never had more than 25 at any given time on their ship. So that's about it. Otherwise, the night was relatively slow. My group has decided that instead of having 2 physicians on at night, we will only have 1 physician on at night starting tomorrow, just because our numbers are so low that it doesn't necessitate the cost of having two physicians on at the same time. So I definitely will be busy from now on. There's not going to be any more quiet nights because all the work will fall on me. But, you know, we take the blows as they come. At least I'm still getting paid and still have my job with full hours for the time being. So I can't complain. Just be grateful for what we have, right? So that's about it. Otherwise, I'm done for the day. Going to go home, get more sleep for my last shift of this week and this stretch of shifts, and get 8 days off, I think, is what I got. So, nonetheless, stay safe, stay separated, keep distancing. We'll get through this together. Don't believe any of the hype. Conspiracy theories are just that. You have questions, talk to me. All right? Like, I will answer your medical questions. Do not believe these random quacks and charlatans that are dividing this country with their BS. So, nonetheless, get out of here. I'm out of here. Stay safe. Good morning, everyone. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 21. This is the morning of May 1st of 2020. So my shift is ending, and this shift was not too busy, but unfortunately for the journal, I had no coronavirus admissions overnight. Fortunately for society as a whole, no coronavirus illness, which is great. But we're still waiting to see what happens with, the recent considerations of opening, businesses and everything. We're expecting a surge in about 3 weeks if things begin to open up in the next week. Although there's still question about that here in California. But good news, our mayor of Los Angeles has stated that anyone in Los Angeles who wants to get tested can get tested, and the city or county will pay for it. We apparently have gotten our hands on a large number of test kits and now have the capability to do that testing full throttle in the county, so that's good news if that news holds true. Otherwise, that's pretty much it from my end. Can't think of much else newsworthy-wise. At least from my end, there's a lot of political news, etc., that deals with the coronavirus, but I'm not going to get into it in the journal. I am going to debunk some myths on another video that's going to be posted to the channel soon. But beyond that, I got nothing for you guys, so this was a short one. Stay safe, stay good. I'm done for 8 days, so I'm going to get some rest before the next stretch of shifts starts up later this month. So, again, stay safe, stay isolated. Don't be stupid. Wear masks when you're out and about, preferably N95s. And I'll talk to you guys soon.